Good morning to everyone. Myself Suraj Kumar Soni, and this is the part number 4 of chapter number 2nd solution of class 12 science chemistry. In the previous video, we studied about the definition of solution, type of solutions, and some concentration terms by which we can determine the concentration of solution like molarity, mass percentage, volume percentage, mole fraction, and some other terms we have studied in the previous video. And we studied like solubility of gas, solubility of solid and liquid, Raoult law, and elevation in Raoult law, positive deviation, negative deviation in the Raoult law, from the Raoult law, and so many terms, and the Henry law we studied in the previous video. If you don't see the video, just see the previous video for the better understanding of this video, because in this video we study about some of the colligative properties depending upon the particles, number of particles present in the solution. Okay, now we start. First, see the index, which topics we will study in this video. We will study topic. First is four concentration terms. First one is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Second is elevation of boiling point. Third is depression of freezing point, and fourth is osmotic pressure and osmosis. And then we will study calculation of the molar mass from the osmotic pressure, then classification of solution on the basis of the osmotic pressure, then we will study reverse osmosis. These are the four terms we will study in this video, and then some use of the reverse osmosis in the water purification. What are the applications of the reverse osmosis in the water purification? These terms we will study in this video. Now we start. The first colligative property is relative lowering of vapor pressure. How the vapor pressure increase or decrease? In this video we will study. Vapor pressure of a solvent present in a solution is less than the vapor pressure of the pure solvent. The meaning is that if any solution contain the non-volatile solute, then vapor pressure decreases. If any solution contain volatile solute, then vapor pressure increases. According to Raoult law, lowering of vapor pressure of a solution depend only on the concentration of the solute particles and remain the independent of their identity. This is the formula of P1 x1 P1 naught, where P is the partial pressure of the you can say partial pressure of the component A, X is the mole fraction of the component A, and P1 naught is the partial pressure of the component A, and P1 is the total pressure of the component A, and P1 naught is the partial pressure of the component A. The reduction in this vapor pressure of the solvent P1 is given as the formula of the P1 is P1 naught minus P1. Okay, if I put the value of P1, the value of P1 is x1 P1 naught. The value of P1 is x1 P1 naught. The formula convert the delta P1 is equal to P1 naught minus P1 x1. If you take the common P1, then the value convert P1 is equal to 1 minus x1. P1 naught 1 minus x1. This is the formula of the delta P1. As x2 is the and the formula and the value of the x2 is the 1 minus x1, the above equation reduced to delta P1 is equal to x2 P1. Okay, 1 minus x1 is the value of x2. Then we can say delta P1 is equal to P1 naught x2. Okay, now lowering of the vapor pressure of the solution with several non-volatile solute depend upon the sum of the mole fraction of the different solute particles, which is make the above equation as. The formula of the lowering in vapor pressure is, this is the formula. You can see delta P1 upon P1 is equal to P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught, where is equal to x2. X2 is the mole fraction of the component second, or you can say solvent, P1 naught minus P1 upon P1. In this formula, P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught, this is the relative lowering in vapor pressure. The terms is that we are doing a study relative lowering in vapor pressure. The symbol is P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught. Okay, and x2 is a mole fraction of the solute. X2 is a mole fraction of the solute. You can easily determine the mole fraction. Formula of mole fraction is equal to mole of component first upon total mole. It means you can say N2 upon N1 plus N2. If the value where N1 and N2 are the number of the moles of solvent and solute respectively present in the solutions. Okay, this is the common thing I told you earlier videos. The above equations can be written as P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught is equal to N1 N2 upon N1 upon N2, because both are the equal. P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught is equal to X2, and the value of the X2 is this. So we can say both the terms are equal. For dilute solution, if you dilute solution, it means if you increase the dilution, if you increase the water, then mole fraction of solute decreases and mole fraction of solvent increases. Then value of N1 increases. So N1 is greater than N2. Then the formula become P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught is equal to N2 upon N1. N2 is the mole fraction of the component, N2 is a mole fraction of solute, and N1 is the mole fraction of the solvent. What is the formula of the mole fraction? What is the formula of mole? Formula of the mole is mass per molecular mass. So in this by this equation we get N2, according to N2, W2 upon M2, and then according to N1 is equal to W1 into M1. Okay, W1 upon M1. W is the mass of the solute upon M2 is the molecular mass of solute, and W1 is the mass of the solvent, and M1 is the molecular mass of the solvent. Okay, M1 is the molecular mass of the solvent, and W1 W2 is the mass of the and the molar mass of the solute. Okay, now this is the term number first that we studied. This is very most important terms. You will get the one question from this point in your exams. Second colligator property is elevation of boiling point. Elevation of boiling point. Okay, let's see. Okay, elevation of boiling point. How the boiling point increases and decreases in this depend upon this point, and we will study this topic regarding in this point. Elevation of boiling point means variations in the boiling point. Increase, I told you earlier, boiling point increases if the any solution contain volatile solute. If the any solution contain non-volatile solute, then boiling point decreases. Let's see the theory. Increase in the temperature increase the vapor pressure of a solution. If you increase the temperature, then vapor pressure increases. A liquid boils at temperature where the vapor pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure. What is the boiling point? The boiling point is that when the vapor pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure, that is called boiling point. Vapor pressure of the solvent decreases in the presence of the non-volatile solute. I told you earlier, vapor pressure always decreases on the due to presence of non-volatile solute. If any solvent contain volatile solute, then vapor pressure increases. The boiling point of the solution is always higher than that of the boiling point of the pure solvent which is present in their solution is prepared as. Okay, the boiling point of the solution is always lower than the boiling point of the pure solvent, because every solution contain solute. It may be volatile or non-volatile. Okay, the next point is that the elevation of boiling point also depend on the number of solute molecules rather than their nature. Colligative property, what is the meaning of colligative property? Number of particles means number of solute particle dissolved in the solvent is called colligative property. Means colligative property depend on the number of particles, number of solute particles dissolved in the solvent. It does not depend upon the nature of particles or nature of solvent, nature of solute. Okay, so the increase in the formula of the elevation of boiling point is delta TB is equal to TB minus TB naught. Delta TB is equal to TB minus TB naught. The formula is that delta TB is the elevation in boiling point. This is the elevation in the boiling point is equal to TB minus TB naught. Okay, where TB is the boiling point of the solvent and TB naught is the boiling point of the solution. We can say boiling point of the solvent is always greater than boiling point of the solution. That's why I put TB minus TB naught. Okay, now delta TB is equal to TB minus TB naught, where TB is the boiling point of the solvent and TB naught is the boiling point of the solution. In dilution solution, the elevation of the boiling point Tb is directly proportional to the molar concentration of the solute in a solution. We can say delta Tb is directly proportional to molar molality. We can say delta Tb. Delta Tb is the elevation in boiling point is directly proportional to molality. Okay, and you know the formula of molality. If I remove the directly proportional sign, then I will get delta Tb is equal to Kb. Kb is the constant. It is the boiling point constant, elevation in boiling point constant, and molality. Okay, where Kb is the elevation in boiling point, constant value of elevation of boiling point, elevation in boiling point constant. Okay, where m is the molality. Okay, what is the molality? Number of solute, if a number of mole of solute dissolve in a gram of solvent, or you can say 1 kg of solvent. Okay, and Kb is the elevation in boiling point constant. And what is unit of Kb? The unit of Kb is kg per mole. Kg per mole. These questions will always ask in your NEET and IIT exams. Okay, kg per mole, where W2 and M2 is the molar mass. You can see this is the final formula of the elevation in boiling point. This is the final formula. This is the final formula of elevation in boiling point. Okay, delta Tb is equal to Kb upon small m. Small m is molarity. What is the formula of molarity? Mass upon molecular mass upon mass of solvent in kg, divide by multiply, divide by 1000. That's 1000 goes to up. That is the formula of elevation in boiling point. Okay, that would be, if by this formula you can find the mass, molecular mass, and elevation in boiling point and elevation in boiling point quotient. Whatever you can find from this formula. This is very most important formula. I want to tell you, you will get a question in your board exams from this part. Okay, most important formula. Okay, now move to next slide. Okay, look at the question. Boiling point of the water is 755 mmSg is 99.63 degrees centigrade. How much sucrose is to be added in 500 gram of water such that it boils at the 100 degrees centigrade? Molar elevation constant for water is 0.52 kg per mole. Okay, means you get the elevation in boiling point is 0. Kg per mole, 0. Kg. You can see the unit kilo kg per mole, means this is the value of elevation in boiling point, means this is the value of delta Tb. Okay, you have to find the mass, you have to find the mass of the solute. Okay, elevation of boiling point is in delta Tb is equal to 0. 100 plus 273. Okay, temperature is 100 plus 273, 100 is centigrade. Okay, convert into the Kelvin. That is the value is, and that is the value of the centigrade. Convert into the Kelvin. You get at 0.37 Kelvin. Mass of the water is 500 gram. Okay, molar mass of the sucrose is 342 gram, and molar elevation constant Kb is equal to 0.52. Okay, 0.52 kg per mole. That is the elevation constant. Okay, we know that delta Tb is equal to Kb 1000 mass upon molecular mass into mass of the solvent in kg. 0.3. So if they put the value of Kb, what is the value of Kb? 0.52. 0.52, that is 0.52. You have to find the mass by the cross multiply. You get this formula. Put the value of delta Tb. Delta Tb is 0.37. Mass, molecular mass is 342. W1 mass of solvent in kg 500 upon 1000 into Kb. Formula value of Kb is 0.52. Okay, after calculation you will get the answer 121.67 gram. Hence 121.67 gram sucrose is to be added in the solution. Okay, this is the answer. Now move to the next slide. This is the next colligator property is depression of freezing point. Depression of freezing point. This is the another colligator property. What is the freezing point? A temperature at which any compound, any solution, any compound convert into the liquid. That is called freezing point. At point that will it freeze. Okay. Freezing point of a substance is a temperature at which the vapor pressure of the substance is liquid phase is equal to the vapor pressure of the substance or the solid phase. This is a simple definition of the freezing point. The freezing point of a substance is a temperature at which the vapor pressure of the substance is vapor pressure of the substance of the liquid phase is equal to the vapor pressure in the solid phase. Point number second, if the vapor pressure of the solution is equal to the vapor pressure of the pure solid solvent, then the solution freeze. Okay, if the vapor pressure of both the phase will become equal, then compound goes to freeze, then solution freeze. According to the Raoult law, addition of the non-volatile solute decrease the vapor pressure of the solvent but increase the freezing point. Okay, and this decrease the freezing point of the solvent. So that's why we can say solution that contain the non-volatile solute, it has the highest freezing point, but the pure solvent has the lowest freezing point. So we can say the formula is delta TF. Delta TF is the freezing point, depression of freezing point. It may be TF minus TF naught. Okay, where TF is the freezing point of the solvent, freezing point of the solution, and TF naught is the freezing point of the solvent. Because freezing point of the solution is higher than the freezing point of the solvent, that's why I put the delta TF. That's why I put the TF forward. Okay, now see the formula, delta TF is equal to TF minus TF naught, where delta TF is equal to depression of freezing point, TF is equal to freezing point of the solution, and TF naught is the freezing point of the solvent. Okay, now move to next slide. I told you earlier the formula are same. The formulas are same. Delta TF directly proportional to molality. Okay, if I remove the directly proportional sign, then I will get delta TF is equal to KF multiply by delta small m, where KF is equal to constant of freezing point constant, and m is the molality. Then now put the formula, simple formula. We can say delta TF is equal to KF. Okay, freezing point constant, then molality. What is the formula of molality? Mass upon molecular mass. Mass upon molecular mass of solute, then mass of the solvent, then mass of the solvent in kg or in gram. If we take the mass of solvent in gram, then divide by 1000 and multiply by the 1000 upon. Okay, this is the formula of the elevation in depression in freezing point. Okay, now look at the formula. There is a formula, delta TF is equal to elevation in freezing point constant, mass of solute, molecular mass of solute divided by 1000. Okay, this is the formula. Okay, W2 mass of solute, molecular mass of solute, mass of solvent in gram, but divided by 1000. This is the formula. Now move to the next slide. This is the most important formula you have to learn. In this, by this formula you will get a question from in your board exams. Okay, M2 can be determined by the equation. This is the formula. By the formula you can determine the value of KF, M2 and W2 and anything else. Okay, by this formula you can find four terms. First one is delta TF. First one is this. By this formula you can find delta TF, depressing freezing point, simple TF, KF means freezing point constant, and TF means sorry. By this formula you can find delta TF means depression in freezing point, KF freezing point constant, mass of solute, molecular mass of solute, and mass of solvent. These terms you can find by this formula. Now move to the next slide. Sorry, look at the question. This is the numerical. Calculate the mass of the ascorbic acid. Formula is C6H10O6 to be dissolved in a 0.75 of gram of acetic acid to lower its melting point by the 1.5 degree centigrade. The value of the KF is 3.9 kg per mole. Always remember the unit of the KF or KB is kg upon mole. Okay, This is the mass of the acetic acid is 75 gram. Okay, and the molar mass is is 176 gram, and the T delta T is equal to 1.5 Kelvin. Then you can find the mass of the solvent in kg. Okay, mass of solvent. Okay, the formula is that delta TB, value of delta TB is 1.5, molecular mass 176, mass of solute 75 upon 1000, then Kb is equal to 1000. The value of the Kb is 3.9. You will get the 5.08 approximate. Hence 5.08 gram of absorbic acid is needed to be dissolved. Okay, this is the answer by which by the formula you can determine the mass of solute, and you can determine the elevation in the freezing point. Okay, now the next colligative property is osmosis and osmotic pressure. I think you know the what is the osmosis. Transfer of the solute from the high concentration to low concentration is called osmosis. You can say transfer of the any solid particle or any particle from the high concentration to low concentration is called osmosis. And what is the osmotic pressure? When transfer of the particles from the high concentration to low concentration, it create a pressure on the surface of the wall, that is called osmotic pressure. Okay, let us see some theory. We have often observed that raw mangoes shrink when kept in the salt water, that is called brine solution. Flowers remain fresh for the longer time when kept in the water. Why it is happening? Because it's transfer the particles from the high concentration to low concentration. This is due to the fact that the small solvent molecules such as the water and capable of the passing through the pores present in every cell. These pores allow the small solvent like water to pass through the but hinders the passing of the large molecules. This membrane passing such pore is known as the semi-permeable membrane. By the semi-permeable membrane, small particles can be passed, but the large particle cannot be passed. Okay, the process of flow of the solvent from the pure solvent to the solution. The process of the flow of the solvent from the pure solvent to the solution through a semi-permeable membrane is termed as the osmosis. What is the meaning of osmosis? Transfer of the solvent from from solvent to solution. This flow of the solvent to the solution continue until the stage of the equilibrium is reached. Okay, transfer of the solvent from the pure solvent to the solution is continue until equilibrium is reached. Application of the extra pressure on the solution can be terminate the flow of the solvent from the pure solvent to the solution. This pressure is called osmotic pressure. Okay, when the pressure is arise on the surface of the wall, that is called osmotic pressure of the solution. It is a qualitative property that depend upon the concentration of the solution, and it is basically meant to stop the passes of the solvent molecule through a semi-permeable membrane into the solution. Solvent molecules generally flow from the lower concentration to higher concentration. This flow of the solvent from the dilute solution to be concentrated solution through a semi-permeable membrane is due to the phenomena of the osmosis. Means solvent molecules generally flow from the low concentration to high concentration. This is called osmosis. This flow of the solvent from the dilute solution to the concentrated solution through a semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. Okay, look at this picture. This is the pictorial diagram. In this diagram, you can say this is the semi-permeable membrane. This is salt water. Okay, this is the fresh water. Fresh water, that is called pure water. You can say water is flowing from the fresh water to solution because this part contain the high concentration of solvent and shifted to the this part because this part contain the high concentration of the solvent and shifted to the this part that contain the low concentration of the solvent. Okay, this is called the osmosis, and it generate a pressure on the wall, that is called osmosis pressure. When the equal number of the particles are present in both the side, then you can say equilibrium is reached. Okay, that is called the osmosis, and you can say osmotic pressure. What is the formula of the osmotic pressure, and what is the formula of the osmosis pressure? You can see this is the formula. Pi is equal to CRT. Pi is equal to CRT. Okay, I got to explain you. Wait, look at carefully. You can say ideal gas equation is equal to PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to nRT, where P is the pressure, V is the volume, and N is the number of mole, R is the gas constant, and T is the temperature. Okay, P means pressure, and you are finding the osmotic pressure. Then send the V at the dead side, and you will get P is equal to N R T upon V. What is the meaning of N is mass upon molecular mass, because this is the mole. Then formula become P is equal to mass upon molecular mass into V into RT. Okay, okay. This term is called C, concentration. This term is called concentration. Then P is equal to CRT. Okay, P is equal to CRT. So the final formula is P is equal to CRT, or you can say pi. Pi is the osmotic pressure, then pi is equal to CRT. Okay, this is the formula of the osmotic pressure. Pi is equal to CRT. C means concentration, R is gas quotient, and T is the temperature, and pi is the osmotic pressure. Okay, now you can solve the note it down this formula. This is very most important. You can solve the questions by this formula. Now see the questions. Calculation of the osmotic pressure means pi in the Pascal exerted by a solution prepared by dissolving 1 gram of the polymer of molar mass 185 1,85,000 in 450 ml of water at 30 degree centigrade. First, what is the formula? nRT, you can say, and nRT upon V. Volume of the water is 450 ml. Okay, temperature is 31010. Basically temperature is given 37 degree centigrade. You have always taken the temperature in the Kelvin, because Kelvin is the standard value. Okay, the temperature is 310. Number of the moles of polymer is N, is equal to mass upon molecular mass. Mass is the 1 gram. Mole, what is the mole of the polymer? Mass upon molecular mass. Mass is 1 and molecular mass is the 18500. Okay, then find the osmotic pressure. Pi is equal to N upon VRT. What is the value of N? Is 1 upon 8 for this is this. And what is the value of V? What is the value of R? Value of R is 0.8.314 10 to the power 3. And what is the value of T? The value of T is 310, and what is the volume is 0.5 liter. Then you can the answer is 31 Pascal. Okay, this is the answer of 31 Pascal. Now shift to the next slide. The calculation of the molar mass from the osmotic pressure. How you can determine the mass or molar mass? I told you earlier, the formula is simple. The formula is pi is equal to CRT. R is the gas constant. Pi is the osmotic pressure. Pi is equal to N2 upon VRT. V is the volume of the solution. N2 is the mole of solute. W2 is the mass of solute. And M2 is the molecular mass of solute. And now is equal to N2. N2 is equal to W2 upon M2. Okay. This is the formula. Okay, this is the formula. Pi is equal to W2 upon V. W2 upon M2 is equal to V multiplied by RT. Okay, if you want to find the W2, then W2, then cross multiply is that. If you find the M2, then cross multiply is that W2 into RT upon V. Okay, this is the formula by you can find the molecular mass. Now move to the next slide. On the basis of the now we are going to show you about the classification of the solution on the basis of osmotic pressure. Classification of the solution on the basis of osmosis. There are three types of the solution: isotonic solution, hypertonic solution, and hypertonic solution. There are three types of solution: isotonic solution, hypertonic solution, and hypertonic solution. What is the meaning of isotonic solution? Two solutions possessing the same osmotic pressure at the given temperature as termed as isotonic solution. Okay, hypertonic solution in the event that the medium of has a lower convergence of water than the cell, implying that it's a concentrated solution. The cell will lose the water by the osmosis. Such a solution is known as the hypertonic solutions. Okay, hypertonic solution in the event that the medium encompassing the cell has a higher water concentration than the cell. Okay, it is called the hypertonic solution. Okay, the next and the last term is, sorry, the next term is reverse osmosis. You studied osmosis, a reverse osmosis, that is called RO. The term you have listened, I think you term this listen in the your water purifier. RO means reverse osmosis. You see RO, UV and the TDS, these basic terms used in the water purifier. Okay, so RO means reverse osmosis. Today I will tell you what is reverse osmosis. Then you can understand the reverse osmosis, and you can, this knowledge you can applying at your home. Reverse osmosis, as the name suggested, reverse osmosis is just the reverse process of the osmosis. It is the reverse process of osmosis. In the osmosis you studied uh, transfer of the solvent from the high concentration to solution of the, okay, osmosis can occur naturally whenever there is difference in the concentration between the two solution, but reverse osmosis take place only when the solution external energy is applied to the more saline solution. Okay, listen, in the basic language, what is osmosis? Transfer of the solvent, transfer the solvent from the high concentration to low concentration, means transfer of the pure solvent into the solution is called osmosis. But transfer of the solution that contain the solute particle into the solvent is called reverse osmosis. Okay, but the transfer of the solution into the solvent is not possible. It required the external energy source. That source is called the reverse osmosis, that is used in your water purifier. Okay, application of the large osmotic pressure to be solution, application of the large osmotic pressure to be solution side reverse the direction of the osmosis. This phenomena make the pure solvent flow out of the solution through the semi permeable membrane. Reverse osmosis is essentially used in your distillation of seawater. You can see this is the pure water, fresh water, this is your saline water, and this is the reverse osmosis occur. Pressure is applied on the solution. That's why solution goes to the solvent. Okay, you can see water flow from the solution to solvent, that is called reverse osmosis. And reverse osmosis always needs a high pressure or a high energy. Okay, what is the use of reverse osmosis? Just suddenly I told you reverse osmosis is used for the purification of water, and it is, that's why and it is also used in the your water purifier, and this is needs very high amount of energy and high amount of money. Then use of the reverse osmosis in the water purification is that reverse osmosis is extensively used in the distillation of seawater. Okay, distillation of seawater, a porous film of the cellulose acetate is used as a membrane which is permeable water. If you want to ask me, sir, what is a semi-permeable membrane? The membrane which has the pore size is not greater than the 100 nanometer. Okay, the pore size is not larger or not smaller, not too much larger, not too much smaller. That is called the semi-permeable membrane. Okay, the membrane is the permeable membrane is has the largest pore size, and the non permeable membrane has the uh, very small pore size, but the semi-permeable membrane has the medium pore size. Okay, for the example of the, we can use the cellulose layer dipped in the acetate solution. Okay, pressure larger than the osmotic pressure is applied on the seawater solution, which allow the passing out of pure water, holding the back and bulk of contaminated through the membrane made of the polymer. The measure of the pressure required release upon the salt grouping of the food water. Greater concentration of feed water require the more pressure. If the solution contains the high concentration, then it requires the more pressure. Okay, as the water enter the RO membrane, under the great pressure, the water molecule pass through the semi-permeable membrane. The membrane is impermeable to salt, and the water contaminate, hence it is not allowed to pass through it. So the water, the salt particles and the another contaminated particles are not transfer. So that's why we use the semi permeable membrane. Okay, you can see the leftover contaminated water is then discharged through the rejected stream, and finally we can get the drained out is feedback into the feed water supply. This water will again undergo the same procedure and will be purified in the same way. That is a feed water, okay, pass through the RO membrane. That is a RO membrane, reject the stream, higher concentration than the feed water. Then we get the permit water, that is the low concentration of salt. This water contain the low concentration of salt. Okay, now we have finished this chapter, and I think this is the most important chapter regarding to in your board exam. The questions from this chapter will come in your RBC and CBC exam. So read this chapter with easiest way, and if you don't understand the topics, you can revise this video again and again and see carefully. And I would like to told you the personally, you have to solve the so many numericals on this question on this chapter. You can took your RBC books, CBC books, and any NCERT books that contain this chapter, and all the NCERT books of class 12 science chemistry contain this chapter. You can solve this, or you have a, I would like to suggest you a book is MTG publication book, MTG MTG publication books contain the, this books is good for the 11th 12th and NEET and IIT exam. This book contain the so many examples and so many questions. This is the MTG fingertips. The book name is MTG fingertip of chemistry, biology, physics. Okay, so you can purchase the MTG fingertips for the chemistry. This book this is very most important book for your chemistry preparation of the 11th 12th and the NEET exams. Okay, we have completed this chapter. Read the see the video again and again, and complete your chapter. Okay, now do the some questions of regarding this video. Question number 4, what is the reverse osmosis and explain their function. Question number 2, calculate the mass of the sugar to be dissolved in 150 gram of the ethanol to lower its melting point by 1.5 degree centigrade, and the value of the Kf is 3.9 kilogram per mole. Question number 3, boiling point of the wine at 750 mm Sg is 60 degree centigrade. How much salt is to be added to 800 gram of water, much such that it boil at 100 degree centigrade? Molar elevation constant of the water is 0.52 kilogram per mole. Question number 4, explain the process of the osmotic pressure. Okay, yeah, I think we have finished this chapter and all the topics I have done in this chapter. Then now tomorrow we will do the another chapter of the class 12 chemistry. Let's see which chapter we will do. Okay, and thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye.